Hi students, welcome to VerandaRace. And today's session is yet again based on ESIC questions. We will be solving 25 questions as speedily as we can. So let us start the session without much ado. ESIC based questions, 25 questions. So we'll start off with error spotting questions. The first question is, I made it clear to all my colleagues that he will be my next successor after considering his contribution to the previous project. I made it clear to all my colleagues that he will be my next successor. So the error is in part C because, I'll tell you why, because first it should be would. Because the sentence starts with made. So I made it clear to all my colleagues that he would be my successor. Successor means the next one. One who comes in the list, consecutive. So it would be only successor. He would be my successor after considering his contribution to the previous project. Clear? Successor means the next in succession. Second in succession. Okay. Next question. Several of the small tools discovered at the site may have been arrowheads, according to some of the researchers. Several of the small tools discovered at the site might have. It's again the same kind of error as the first one, because discovered is past tense, so it should be might. Similar kind of error I have given so that you identify how to solve questions in which the first sentence starts with past tense and later on it becomes might. Might or could or would for that matter, not can, will or may. So it should be might have been. Error is in part C again. Next question. Professor Stringer believes that the idea of long-term interaction between humans and Neanderthals is in agreement with the finding in 2010 that modern humans possessed some Neanderthal DNA. So the sentence starts with a present tense again. Professor Stringer believes that the idea of long-term interaction between humans and Neanderthals is in agreement. So it is over here. Believes. So here it will be possesses. It's a general statement. So is in agreement with the finding that in 2010 that modern humans possess, not possesses, possess, because it's humans, right? It's humans. So possess some Neanderthal DNA. Is it clear to you? Well, moving ahead. 22 questions are left. In the latest report, the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development noted Everest has lost ice significantly since the late 1990s. Here it should be noted that. So, in the latest report, the International Center for Integrated Mountain Development noted that Everest has lost ice significantly since the late 1990s. So, you would say this should be had lost. No, it will be has lost because later it has since in the sentence, so it can be used with present perfect. For example, if we say, I have not seen him since he came to India. In that way, has lost is correct, only that it should be noted that. That is the conjunction that is required. Okay, so error is in part C. Venkar, good morning. Once you start exercise, the dread of the thought of exercising goes away and you start to experience personal successes and a sense of control. Once you start exercising would be the correct answer. Once you start exercising, this will be the correct answer because it goes appropriately with the action that once you start exercising, the dread of the thought of exercising goes. So this is parallelism kind of thing. So both should be exercising. Fine. Well, moving ahead to the next question. It is basically rearrangement of sentence. Rearrangement. Let us solve the question. I think you are not able to see the entire question because I am standing there. So I will be moving here and there. In the meantime, you can see the questions. So, An exhaustive study of the genomes of many citrus varieties conclude. It cannot be the first sentence because it says the genomes of many citrus varieties. So, where did the citrus originate? Okay, it's an introductory question. It's an introductory question. So, we can have B as the first sentence. Where did the citrus originate? Botanist Shozaburo Tanaka was an early proponent of the Indian origins of citrus. Can be the first sentence? Because this sentence anyhow cannot be the first sentence because we are talking about the introduction of citrus here. Okay. So, yes, hi Vijay Bala, good morning. Change my life, hi sir, okay, hi. Okay. The northeast corner has 25% of India's forests, okay. So, B is considered to be the first sentence. Next can be, where did the citrus originate? Botanist Shozaburo Tanaka was an early proponent of the Indian origins of citrus. An exhaustive study of the genomes of many citrus varieties concluded that the last common ancestor of all varieties we see today grew about 8 million years ago. So, it talks about the origin. A talks about the origin. So, it should be BA. It says the common ancestor of all the varieties we see today grew about 8 million years ago and what in what is now northeast India, overlapping Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal, Nagaland and Manipur. So, BA would be correct order. Next comes, it talks about, A talks about the origin and the place where it is, what is now is Assam, Meghalaya, Manipur and all. So, here it says this region is famously one of the world's richest biodiversity hotspots. So, it will be BA, E. Next, we have to choose between D and C. Okay. One of the richest region. So, this area is also a rich repository of citrus genomes with 68 varieties of wild and developed citrus found here today. So, BAE, D and last one would be C. The northeast corner has 25% of India's forest and a large chunk of its biodiversity where you will find. So, BADC. This will be the correct order. BACED. Reshmi says BACED. BAEDC would be the correct answer, Reshmi. If you could see the proper arrangement which I have made. So, BAEDC would be the correct answer. Venkat says BAECD. BAEDC, because you see D comes exactly after E. D comes exactly after E. So, you are close, Venkat. BAEDC would be the correct answer. Well, moving ahead to the next question. We have fillers. We have filler questions. We'll solve the filler questions. Advances in food science have dash agricultural yields. Advances means developments in food science have dash agricultural yields. So, here it should be a positive word. Here it should be a positive word. So, have plus it should be V3. Boosted. This is the only option we are getting. Multiplied and reason would not suit the purpose. So, serve the purpose. So, boosted is V3 as well as it's a positive word. So, advances in food science have boosted agricultural yields and nutritional content of food, especially rice, the staple food in Bangladeshi diet. Staple food means a regular, general food that they eat. For example, rice is staple food of the South India. Chapatis, that is flour, wheat flour is the staple. Wheat is the staple food of North India this way. So, rice is the staple food of Bangladeshi diet. Okay. So, boosted and staple will be the correct answer. You're getting me, right? So, increased food, increased agriculture. It should be a V3 form because it's have plus V3. So, it should be boosted. Multiplied could have also been the answer, but reason food is not suitable. Okay. So, moving ahead to the next question. The reform has dash a steady rice supply to dash its rapidly growing population. So, second one you see, to satisfy, to feed, this kind of word should be there because to dash its rapidly growing population. So, rice has to be provided, supplied, feed, this kind of word. So, feed will be the correct answer in the second one. The reform has ensured, this reform means change, evolution in that case. This reform has ensured a steady rice supply to feed its rapidly growing population. So, it will be the answer. Entitled means you are giving credit to someone. He is entitled to the remuneration. Ensured is correct in second case also, but cooking, to cooking it's rapidly growing, like it's cooking people, right, which is incorrect. So feed rapidly growing people. So answer would be, yeah, C is the correct answer. Yes, Arvind. Arvind is correct. Moving ahead to the next question. With due regards to the dash, I would like to pay dash to my seniors who have always guided me and helped me through thick and thin. Okay. Due regards to elders can be a correct answer. Old is not correct. To the old. The old, you generally, old can be attributed to people, objects and all. So elders or elderly. These two can be a probable option. With due regards to the elderly, I would like to pay dash respect or homage. Yeah, this will be the correct answer, homage. You pay homage to someone. Homage means again respect, but you don't pay respect. You show respect. You pay homage, you pay you show respect, you pay homage. So pay homage to my seniors who have always guided me. A. PM Stalin says A is the answer. Kishore Silva says C. C is the correct answer. A would be, you don't pay respect, you should show respect. Exhibit respect, but homage is paid. Homage is basically kind of respect only, but it's paid actually. So elderly, the elderly means the older people, like the elder people. Elderly, our elderly means the older people of the house, this way, or the older people in general. So this will be the answer. Next question we have is a closed test. I'm sure it's visible to you. It has taken the entire, this thing. Let me check how it looks on the screen. Okay, yeah. So it is like bit of, okay, I'll keep moving. I'll go to this side. So there are a lot of dumb ideas out there. Most of them thought up by techies. There are various dumb ideas out there. Most of them thought up by techies. One of them is that you can make new friends by sitting alone in your room, staring at the screen. So one idea by the techies is that if you sit alone in a room and stare at the screen, it will make new friends. Okay, another one really big in India, convert people into unique numbers. Convert people into unique numbers. Forget that those numbers are actually people, and then tell the people who are not yet numbers that they won't be dash as people unless they become numbers. It's a difficult passage actually, but the options are very easy. In these passages, you don't need to do a research on how to solve, how to understand the passage. Rather, you can go directly to the blank and understand what should be fitted there. So, we'll go to A directly and then tell the people who are not yet numbers that they won't be dash as people unless they become numbers. They won't be dash as people. So, as people means they won't be, let's see the option. They won't be brought up. So, people are not brought up. People are not used. People are not believed, because here it says that they won't be used as people. They won't be treated as people. Let's understand the passage in that manner. Let's understand the passage again for that matter. So there are a lot of dumb ideas out there, most of them thought by techies. One of them is that you can make new friends by sitting alone in a room staring at the screen. Another idea is convert people into unique numbers. Like it's talking about UID kind of thing. So convert people into unique numbers. Forget that those numbers are actually people, and forgetting that those numbers are actually people, and then tell the people who are not yet numbers, those who are not enrolled into the UID case, that they won't be treated as people unless they become numbers. Very simple actually, but it's a bit of verbose or circumlocution, difficult usage of sentences. Yeah. So E is the correct answer. Actually, at least Reshmi has said, Sandy has said E is the correct answer. So they won't be treated as numbers if they won't be treated as people if they do not convert them into numbers. That's the point. So treated will be the correct answer. Moving ahead to the next part. But the dumbest of all is, dumbest idea of all is whoever woke up one day and said, hey, wouldn't it be great if we could have conversation with Inanimate objects. The dumbest idea would be if you wake up and say, I want to have interaction with somebody who is inanimate, that's an object basically. No, it would not be. I am told tech wizards. I am told means I have been informed. The author says I have been told that tech wizards are dash with zero social skills. So who does not have a social skill? The nerds do not have a social skill. Nerds are geeks, people who focus only on studies and theories and not on practical applications. So it will be people I'm told that tech wizards are nerds with zero social skills, but that's still no dash for wanting to invent. But that's still not, yeah, D is the correct, no, B is the correct answer. Nerds means studious people who only study theoretical things, not practical applications. Okay. So geniuses may have social skills, but nerds do not have social skills. Okay. So now see, with zero social skills, but that's still no dash for wanting. But that's still not excuse or reason. It can be between reason and excuse, but that cannot be. But that can still no reason for wanting to invent dash that talk. Let's go to the next one and we'll see. Let's go to D. Okay, let's first solve D. So it can be either reason or it can be excuse. So let's go. That's still no reason for wanting to invent gadgets that talk. Gadgets. So it will be the answer as gadgets. Why gadgets? Why gadgets? See, that talk. Even I don't have great social skills. Ask any of my colleagues, they will tell you. But I have never felt like talking to my refrigerator. So gadgets that talk, talking about artificial intelligence and all. So gadgets, let's go to C. But that's still no reason would be the correct answer. Reason. So let's fill over here reason as the answer. Excuse is something when you do something wrong. Reason is just a justification of something. So when you say, I want to talk to a refrigerator, it would mean it is a reason, you have a reason to talk by saying that you have developed artificial intelligence. Excuse will be when you make a mistake and you make an excuse, okay? So gadgets is the correct answer. The previous one will be reasons, okay? Moving ahead. Now the reading comprehension. This one is really easy one, I'm telling you. This reading comprehension is easy one because all answers are direct answers. Let's go to the questions, students. Let's go to the questions. Okay. What is the value of the bid? What is the value of the bid involved with C-band radio spectrum? Simple question. What's the value of the bid involved with C-band radio spectrum? The first question. What has led to the delay in the rollout of 5G services? Delay in rollout means introduction of 5G services. Two questions we have understood. Delay in the rollout of 5G spectrum and the bid of about the bid of the 5G spectrum. So delay in the rollout of 5G services. Two questions. Next question. What is the main purpose of an altimeter? What is the main purpose of the altimeter? Third question. Fourth question. What could be the main theme conveyed in the passage? We cannot answer this question directly, but we will see how to solve it. Name the country that has not been mentioned in the passage with regard to 5G rollout. Fine. So let's go ahead and solve the questions. Okay. Almost 11 months after the United States leading telecommunications companies won bids for 81 billion. Got the answer to the first question. Moving ahead and let's mark the answer. $81 billion. Clear? Simple 81 billion. Next, moving ahead. The previous passage. Worth of C-band radio spectrum to roll out 5G services. The much awaited introduction hit a major snag this week. So when 81 billion was The United States leading telecommunication companies won bids for 81 billions worth of C-band radio spectrum to introduce 5G services. The much awaited introduction hit a major snag. The much awaited introduction hit a major snag this week after the country's leading airlines warned of massive flight disruptions if the wireless technology was put into operation, especially around the nation's airports. In the compromise on the eve of the planned rollout on January 19, AT&T and the Verizon agreed to delay the introduction of the new wireless service near key airports. The two major telecoms commitments notwithstanding, several domestic and international airlines flying to the United States have announced major rescheduling as well as the possibility of cancellation of flights. Okay, there's an answer, I guess. Okay. The two major telecoms commitments notwithstanding, several domestic and international airlines flight to the United States have announced major rescheduling as well as the possibility of cancellation of flights to several destinations, citing warnings from the Federal Aviation Administration and aircraft makers that accurate functioning of radar altimeters in some aircraft may be affected by the 5G radio. So this is the answer, I guess. Affected by the 5G radio frequencies. Let's go to the passage and see. Go to the question and see. Next question. What has led to the delay in the rollout of 5G services? This is the answer. The 5G radio waves causing failure of radio altimeter of the aircraft. This is the answer. Moving ahead to the next question. What was the next question? Main purpose of an altimeter. Let's go ahead and see the main purpose of the altimeter. The altimeter provides information on the aircraft's altitude and are crucial part of the flight operations for pilots, particularly while seeking to make low visibility landings in inclement weather. So this is the answer, the main function of our altimeter. Let's go and see the question. The main purpose of altimeter according to the passage is, it measures the altitude at which the flight flies so that the pilot can see what is out there. It measures the height at which the flight flies so that the pilot can safely land at times of inclement weather. So this will be the correct answer. Inclement weather measures the height of at which the flight flies. That is the correct answer. We have answered 3 questions, I guess. Let's move ahead and see the next question. What could be the main theme conveyed in the passage? It's difficult to answer. We'll see the last paragraph and the first paragraph and then make out. Next question. Name the country that has not been mentioned in the passage. So we have China, France, USA, Australia, South Korea. We'll just skim the passage. China, France, USA, Australia and South Korea. Let's see. So here we can see USA has been mentioned. Here USA has been mentioned. No other country mentioned here. Moving ahead. So we had South Korea, we had China. Let's see. Let's move ahead. You have to do fast skimming actually. So we have seen till now that USA has been mentioned. Then again, if we see, let's go to the last part of the passage. Okay. Let's skim focus in a focused way. Wait. Just focus and give me the answer. What's the answer? Write the name of the country if you have seen the passage quite fine, quite well. Almost 11 months after the United States leading telecommunications companies won bids for 80 million of snack this week, leading airlines were just wait, students, wait. The open, especially around the nation's airports, is compared on the eve of the planned rollout. Where is on telecos? So in this entire passage, only US has been mentioned. Altimeters provide information aircraft altitude. Fine. South Korea, China, and Japan. So Australia has not been mentioned. US, South Korea, China, and Japan. Australia has not been mentioned. So let's go to the answer. This is the answer. Fine. Moving ahead. What's the exact meaning of the word impasse? Impasse means deadlock. Deadlock means a difficult situation or naughty situation. K-N-O-T-T-Y. A naughty situation. K-N-O-T-T-Y. So it is like deadlock. Deadlock. Any deadlock is impasse. Yeah, correct. Kishore Shiva, correct. So Australia is not mentioned. What is the exact meaning of the word retrofitted in the passage? Retrofitted means installed with new components to the machine already assembled. I know the meaning, that's what I'm telling you, but I'll go and reconfirm it. So retrofitted is like installing with new components to the machine already assembled. I'll go to the passage and tell you. Next question would be, what does the phrase punishing to hammer out a long-term solution to this impasse? Punishing a hammer to pushing to hammer out a long-term solution to this impasse. So what does this mean? Let us assume on our own, then we'll check. So pushing to hammer out a long-term solution to this impasse. To manage the existing problem without any further consequences, to deal with the problem with a hammer, to resolve the issue as soon as possible, to implement a permanent solution such that the problem do not arise again in the future. Long-term solution means it shouldn't come again. So answer will be D, I guess. I guess means I'm sure of that. We'll see the passage also. Next question would be, okay, there's no question further. So let's do one thing. Let's check these two hammer question and then check the word of retrofitted. Then we'll be solved. We'll be done. And we have also to understand the theme of the passage. So what's going to be the theme of the passage? It's about US, right? It's about US. What's the main theme conveyed to the passage? The role of the US president in decision making process, the impact of 5G services upon the flight operations in the US. So I think this is the answer. C is the answer because the passage starts with the introduction of American companies, US companies in the flight operations in the US basically. So impact of 5G services basically and the bidding by the US companies. The impact of the delayed 5G rollout on the customers based in the US? No, because it talks about the 5G spectrum and the operations of flight operations in the US. Australia is correct answer. Very good. This is the most probable answer, but we have to check the theme. The theme is that only the impact of 5G services created upon the flight operations in the US. So we have to check just one thing. The last question which we had. Which was the last question? Retrofitted is understood. Retro means related to past. Pushing to hammer out a long-term solution. So I have given answers to implement a permanent solution such that the problem does not arise again in the future. So this is not related to passage actually. This is an idiom also, pushing to hammer out a long-term solution. So long-term solution would be that the problem does not arise again. Long-term solution. You see, long-term solution. We can assume with that, it's not a guesswork, it's a certainty. But if you still want to see, let's go back. We will go from back. The hammer thing, right? Let's check retrofitted as well. Impasse retrofitted. The FAA has said it's working with altimeter manufacturers to evaluate data from the wireless companies to determine how robust each model is, and if required, have the devices retrofitted or replaced. So the new components put into a machine which is already there. That's retrofitted. Okay. Now we are talking about the hammer question. Fine. Let's go from back. So the FAA on the website has pointed out. Okay. Any answer from you? Of the proposed 5G rollout of the US comparison to the situation in France, and asserted that some key differences pose challenges. For one, the aviation regulators contends planned buffer zones for the US airports only protect the last 20 seconds of the flight. Fine, power, president push. Yeah. This is the last part. Task cut out in pushing to hammer out a long-term solution to this impasse so as to minimize any further disruption to the already pandemic hit global travel. To avoid further disruption, let's go to the question again. It will be none of the above. None of the above. So, pushing hammer out a long-term solution means to execute the plan so that no disruptions comes again. So, none of these will be the answer. Because I assumed an answer, so it's a learning. You never decide your own answer. The answer will be given in the passage. So, it's good that we checked. Difficult to check here because I have to scroll down, back and to and fro. So the answer will be none of these, because I'll tell you why none of these, because it's simply written to pushing to hammer out a long-term solution means doing something that will not cause any further disruptions. So answer will be none of the above, because you see, to manage the existing problem without any further consequences, to deal with the problem with a hammer, resolve the issue as soon as possible, to implement permanent solution, the answer is to execute so that no further disruptions are there. So answer will be E, none of these. I hope you are satisfied with my answer, and that's the correct answer actually. Okay, so moving ahead to the end of the session. I hope you perfectly enjoyed the session. Thank you so much.